Good morning to one and all. I am R.V. Kiran, Assistant Professor, Department of Mechanical Engineering, Chevrolet Engineering College. Today in this class, we are going to discuss about the third class about metal matrix composites. So in this class, the main topics to be discussed are the applications of metal matrix composites. What are the different applications of the metal matrix composites, and what are the mechanical properties and advantages and disadvantages of the metal matrix composites. This is my 20th class regarding to the subject advanced materials. So in the earlier class, we have discussed about the different methods of manufacturing of metal matrix composites. So we have seen different methods, that is solid state, semi solid state, liquid state and in situ methods. So first of all, we are going to see the applications of metal matrix composites. So first of all, it can be used in the driven shafts of the engine. So you can see the driven shafts here. So this is a drive shaft and these are one of the drive shafts. So the material used in the drive shafts are, so it is a composition of aluminum and magnesium with minor components of silica and copper. So this is Al means aluminum, Mg means magnesium, Si means silicon and Cu means copper. So this is composition of 80% and 20% of, so Al2O3P, that is aluminum oxide. So 20% we are adding the aluminum oxide and remaining 80% we are adding these aluminum, magnesium, silicon and copper composition. So these are all the metals, and the processing method used for this is extrusion from cast feed material. So casted feeding material, and these are extruded in that. So this is the first application of the metal matrix composite, that is the driven shaft. The material used is the aluminum, magnesium, silicon and copper. So that is the first component here, and it is used in the 80% composition, and remaining 20% is the aluminum oxide, that is Al2O3. Next, second application is the vented passenger car brake disc. So these car brake discs also used by the metal matrix composites only. The material used in the car brake disc is aluminum, silica and magnesium. So 80% of the matrix have been used as aluminum, silica and magnesium, and the remaining 20% is SiCu, that is silicon and copper. So these ingredients are mixed with the silicon and copper. So that is silicon and copper. The processing method for the car brake disc is sand casting or die casting. So in the industries also you can see the sand blasting method, that is called sand casting or die casting. So the processing method used for this car brake disc is sand casting method. Next, they are used in the longitudinal bracing beams for planes. So these bracing beams are used in the construction of planes, that is aeroplanes or turbines. So these are used in the manufacturing of that. So these longitudinal bracing beams are used for the planes. So here we are using it for the planes only. So you can see it in the picture. So very long and connective beams are there in between. So the material used in the longitudinal bracing beams are aluminum, copper and magnesium. Next, ZR means zirconium. So aluminum, copper, magnesium and zirconium. So these beams are all made with the metal matrix composite only. The 85% of the material has been made with the aluminum, copper, magnesium and zirconium. And remaining 50% is made with the pure copper. So remaining 50% is made with the pure copper only. And the processing method used in the longitudinal bracing beams is extrusion. So extrusion is the processing method, or we can use the forging method also of casted feeding material. So casted feed, from the casted feeding material we can use the forging method also, but they are using the extrusion process only. So you can see the picture of the longitudinal bracing beam here. So here you can see it in the picture, a very long bars without any support. So that is, we are using very light beams and strong beams. So here we are using the aluminum as the lightweight material. It has very low density, and magnesium also has very low density. But the strongest material comes from the copper. That is, copper we are using it as the stiffness material, and aluminum, magnesium as the lightweight materials. Next, they are used in the disc brake calipers for passenger cars. So for passenger cars, they are using the disc brake calipers also. And the material used for the disc brake calipers are aluminum alloy with Nextel ceramic fiber. So these are the Nextel ceramic fibers 610, and they are used in the material. And the weight reduction is 55% cast iron compared. So 55% of the cast iron is compared with the weight reduction process. So these 55% of the cast iron has been used in these disc brake calipers for the weight reduction. For the sake of weight reduction, they are using these cast iron as 55%, and the material used for this is aluminum alloy with ceramic fibers. So by using the some of the ceramic fibers, they are using the disc brake calipers. Next one is the diesel pistons, that is partial short fibers reinforced light metal diesel pistons. So these diesel pistons has also been used. Yes, the metal matrix composite. So by using the metal matrix composite, we are going to use the pistons in a lightweight metals. So short fibers have been reinforced in these diesel pistons. So there are different types of fibers, as we all know: short fibers, medium fibers, and long fibers. So here they are using the partial short fibers. That is, not all the short fibers are using, only 70 to 80% of the material have been used as the short fibers. Next one, tank armors. So that is used in the army purpose. So the material used in the tank armors are steel reinforced with boron nitride. So that is steel steel as the matrix, and it is reinforced with the boron nitride. So these are used for the high stiffness method for the tank armors. Next one, Honda has used aluminum metal matrix composite cylinder liners in some of their engines. So Honda company have using the metal matrix, aluminum metal matrix composite for the cylinder liners, including the B21A1, H22A, and H23A, F20C, and F22C. So these are all the codings. So codings of the cylinder liners. So in the industry purpose, they will name the materials also in the coding language only. So they are not using the stainless steel or hardened steel or cast iron. They use it in the code purpose only. So these are all the different codes of the cylinder liners. Next, Toyota has since used the metal matrix composite in the Yamaha designed 2ZZGE engine. So Yamaha also has using the Yamaha company has also using the metal matrix composite in the 2ZZGE engine. So this is also a code engine. So you can see it in the picture. Next, the F-16 Fighting Falcon uses monofilament silicon carbide fibers in a titanium matrix for a structural component of the jet's landing gear. So you can see the structural component for the jet's landing gear. Here you can see it in the red, black, and white color. So these three have been used in the F-16 Fighting Falcon. So for the structural components, or by not moving the jet in the forward or backward direction, they are using these structural components of the jet's landing gear. So they are using the titanium matrix here. So in the metal matrix also they are using the titanium matrix. So titanium matrix have very good structural properties. So due to the structural properties, they are using it in the jet's landing gear. The next one is the 12 mid fuselage structure of space shuttle orbiter showing boron aluminum tubes. So here you can see the boron aluminum tubes in the middle of the structure, middle of the space structure. So this is the 12 mid fuselage. So we are having the 12 poles here. So that is known as 12 mid fuselage structure of space shuttle orbiter showing boron aluminum tubes. So they are used in the space shuttle orbiters which has a boron aluminum tubes. So they are also where they are using the metal matrix composites. Next, aluminum high gain antenna wave guides or boom for the Hubble Space Telescopes. They are also used in the telescopes structure also. So these are all the different applications of the metal matrix composites. So what are the materials or what are the compositions they are using it in the different sectors. Next, what is the demand? Why is the demand for the metal matrix composites? So why we are using highly the metal matrix composite? We have some properties. The first one is the low density. So the density of the metal matrix composites have been very low, comparing that aluminum has been highly using. Second one is the mechanical compatibility. That is, mechanical properties have been highly used. The next, chemical compatibility, thermal stability, and high Young's modulus. So these are all the different mechanical properties and chemical and thermal properties used for the metal matrix composite. Next, high compression and tensile strength. They are also used in the high compression and tensile strength also. Next one is the good processing ability And last one, economic efficiency. So this is a good one because metals are easily available in the market, and the cost of the metals are also been very less compared to the other materials, that is polymer matrix materials and ceramic. Compared to the other materials, these metals are comparability very less. So that is known as economic efficiency. Next, coming to the mechanical properties of metal matrix composites. So in the vertical axis, we are seeing the expansion percentage, and in the horizontal axis, that is temperature. We are taking it as temperature, that is from 25 degrees to 175 degrees temperature. There we are taking the different kinds of metal matrix components. So first one is the magnesium, second one is the aluminium, third one magnesium aluminum oxide, and last one is the aluminum silicon carbide. So these are the different metals and metal matrix components. So here we are taking the graphs for the four metal matrix composites. So four metal matrix composites, we are taking the graphs here and comparing it with the other. So of all the four metal matrix composites, so magnesium has the high expansion due to the temperature. So it has a very good expansion compared to the temperature. And next to it has the aluminum. So aluminum has also been very good structure. Of all the least, aluminum silicon carbide have the least thermal expansion regarding to the metal matrix composites. So that is, we can use the aluminum silicon carbide as highly metal matrix composites. So these are all about the mechanical properties of metal matrix composites. Next, the strength of metal matrix composites. So first one is we are taking the vertical axis as strength, that is in the megapascals, and in the horizontal axis we are taking the volume of reinforcement. So what is the percentage of reinforcement we are taking? So here we are taking the three materials. First one is the aluminum silicon carbide, second one is the aluminum oxide, and third one aluminum boron. So these are the three materials we are taking. So first we are seeing the aluminum silicon carbide. So the strength of the aluminum silicon carbide is up to 300 megapascals, and the volume of reinforcement is 15 to 45%. So we can use the aluminum silicon carbide as reinforcement as 15% to 45%. And coming to the second one, that is aluminum oxide. So in the aluminum oxide, the strength is 400 megapascals, and the volume of reinforcement is 30% to 60%. So we can use highly it as from 30% to 60%. And next one is the aluminum boron reinforcement. So it has a high strength value of up to 800 megapascals. So of all the three materials, aluminum boron has the high strength, that is 800 megapascals. To and it has up to 1400 megapascals. So a very high strength material it is, aluminum boron, and the volume of reinforcement is up to 30 to 55%. So up to 35 to 55% we can add these as reinforcement. So these are the three materials used for the strengthening of metal matrix composites. So see it for a while, see the graph for a while. So next one is the Young's modulus of metal matrix composites. So we are taking the different types of fibers here. So we are calculating the Young's modulus. So first type is the particles, whiskers and discontinuous fibers. Second one is the long or continuous fibers. So we are taking the reinforcement as two types, that is the particles, whiskers or discontinuous fibers, that is in shorter form, and we are using the long or continuous fibers. So in the particles or whiskers we are taking the pure aluminum and aluminum oxide and aluminum silicon carbide. These are the three materials. So when comparing to the aluminum and aluminum oxide, aluminum silicon carbide has some good Young's modulus, that is good Young's modulus, right? And coming to the long on continuous fibers, aluminum silicon carbide, we are taking the aluminum silicon carbide and aluminum carbon and aluminum boron and aluminum boron. So these two have aluminum borons. So boron percentage is varying in two materials. That is, in the first material we are taking it as aluminum and 50% boron, and second one we are taking the aluminum and 30% boron. So the boron percentage has been decreased. So that is why aluminum 50% boron has very high Young's modulus, and aluminum silicon carbide also has very good Young's modulus. So of all the metal matrix composites, these two materials have the high Young's modulus property, that is aluminum silicon carbide and aluminum 50% boron. Next one is the advantages of metal matrix composites. So first one is the low coefficient for the thermal expansion. So it has very low thermal compression. And next one, fire resistance and wear resistance. So we already know that metal matrix composites are very good in the fire resistance purpose, and it also has very good wear resistance. And next one is the high transfer stiffness, strength and modulus. So it has very high transfer stiffness, strength and modulus. And next one, no moisture absorption. So there is no moisture absorption in the category. And next, higher electrical and thermal conductivity. So it has very good high electrical and thermal conductivity and better radiation resistance also. So due to the high stiffness and thermal conductivity nature, it has very good better radiation resistance. And next one is the some reinforcing fibers are inexpensive. So due to the whiskers or powder we are adding as the reinforcement fibers, they are very inexpensive. So they are very cheap compared to the other fibers. Next one is the casting is low cost and net shaped process. So casting, the process used for the metal matrix composites is casting, and it is very low in cost, and these are net shaped process. So these are all the different advantages of the metal matrix composites. Next one is the disadvantages. In the disadvantage, first one is the some fabrication processes are complex and expensive. So in this, we are taking the some of the expensive materials, that is titanium, zirconium. So these materials are very expensive compared to the iron, that is cast iron and stainless steel. So these fabrications process are also very expensive and complex. So complex means very difficult in nature, and these are also very expensive. Second one, it is higher in cost of some reinforcing fibers. So due to the reinforcement process also, these are all very high in cost. Next one, these are relatively immature technology. So these have very good relatively immature technology compared to the others. Next one is the machining difficult. So the machining process for the all the metal matrix composites is difficult because majority of the materials have very good stiffness and thermal expansion properties. So due to these properties, the machining is difficult in nature. Next one, complex fabrication methods. So some of the fabrication methods of the metal matrix composites are very difficult to manufacture. So there we are using the skilled labors here. So non-skilled labors are not used there. So only skilled labors have been used to fabricate these methods. So that is why it is very difficult to fabricate these methods. That is complex fabrication methods. Next one, reinforcing material may reduce ductility and fracture toughness. So the reinforcing material may reduce the ductility and the fracture toughness also. So they are using the reinforcing material for reducing the ductility and toughness of the fracture also. And last one is the fiber matrix interactions at high temperature degrade fibers. So the fiber and matrix interactions are, so fiber matrix means fiber is the reinforcement and the other materials, other pure materials are the matrix, and these have been various interactions at the high temperature and degrade the fibers. So due to the usage of these high temperatures, the fibers have been degraded. So degraded and melt into the matrix. So when it is degraded into the matrix, the original properties of the fibers have been evaporated. So they have been used in the very light areas. So that is the at high temperature we are not using these fiber matrix interactions. So that is why fiber matrix interactions at high temperatures are degrade fibers. So they degrades the properties of the fiber. So these are all the disadvantages of metal matrix composites. And next one is the future plans and applications. So in the future, what are the scope of the metal matrix components, and what are the areas for the scope of the metal matrix components, and what are the different applications used. So first one is the aerospace and army defense. So in the aerospace conditions also we are going to use the metal matrix composites in future, and in the army defense also. So in the army, in the sector of defense, we are going to add the it in the bulletproof sheets and vests. So there are different applications in the defense of the army. So in the future, we are going to made the materials with the metal matrix composites also. Next one, DRTI offers excellent values of absolute strength and stiffness, as well as specific stiffness and stiffness. So the labs of DRTI offers very good values of these absolute strength and stiffness compared to the specific strength and stiffness of the other materials. So compared to the other materials, these have very good values of absolute strength and stiffness. So that is the specific stiffness and stiffness also is very good in metal matrix composite. So this is a good value added product in the nearby future. And next one is discontinuously reinforced metals. So by adding the discontinuous fibers in the as the reinforcement in the metal matrix composite, we are obtaining the discontinuously reinforced metals. By the discontinuously reinforced metals, we are obtaining the stiffness value. So stiffness and specific strength of the metal matrix composites have been increased very high. Next one is the decreasing cost. So we have already discussed about the cost of the metal matrix composites. Some of the metal matrix composites compared to the titanium, zirconium are very high due to their less obtaining nature, that is less obtaining in the market as well as ores. But the cast iron and steels and other metals are available easily and available very high in the market. So they can obtain very low in cost. So the decreasing cost is very less compared to the other materials, that is polymers and ceramics or other materials. Compared to the other materials, it has very less cost, that is decreasing cost. Next one is the more mature production system. So by producing the metal matrix composites, we are going to produce the new varieties of products. So by obtaining the new varieties of products in the nearby future, we are going to produce the more mature production system also. So by obtaining these more mature production system, we can obtain the higher values of metal matrix composites, and it in the very cheap cost, that is in the very less cost we are obtaining all these products. So these are the different future plans and application of the metal matrix composite over the other one. So these are all about the metal matrix composites in the second unit. So by this we have almost completed the second unit. So we have covered all the major topics. That is advantages, applications and processing methods of the metal matrix composites, and future plans and different mechanical properties, that is Young's modulus and specific strength stiffness. So we have covered all the different varieties of metal matrix composites. Thank you.